عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالكم يا جماعة؟ ايش عاملين؟ ان شاء الله تكونوا كويسين. طبعا هذا الفيديو اللي ححط لكم هو عبارة عن البحث حقي حق كورس اسمه comparative thoughts. طبعا البرزنتيشن حقته كانت في فيديو، فاخذ وقت طويل اني اترجم لكم هو، وترجمته وححط لكم هو دحين. طبعا ما تعرفوا قد ايش مزعج صوت الانسان لما يعمل فيديو ويكون هو اللي بيتكلم في الفيديو ويعمل له إيديت كل شوية، طول الوقت يسمع صوتي. خلاص مرة الصراحة كان شيء، هذا اللي تعبني. البحث كله ما تعبني. على العموم أتمنى أنكم تستفيدوا، أتمنى أنه يكون interesting ل some of you، وبس حسيبكم مع الفيديو. طبعا في فيديوهين سويتهم، واحد حق الميد تيرم والتاني حق الفاينل، فهحط لكم أول شيء حق الميد تيرم، بعدين هحط لكم حق الفاينل بدون انترو، يعني عشان خلاص to enjoy it على طول بدون الهرج الطويل ده. لا تنسوا تسووا شير ولايك وسبسكرايب.
Hello everyone. Today we will talk about architecture and the machine-driven culture. One of the main objectives of architecture is to meet the user's need via facilitating its element to serve the occupants. Implementing machined facilities is an essential, rather fancy addition. Basic implementations of machines in architecture is used since the Industrial Revolution. A single building's life cycle starts by using machinery in the construction phase. Basic example of machined elements in architecture is electricity, sensored doors, and elevators. Machine in architecture is the way to design smart building with an easy way to accommodate and livable. Architecture and machine serve many purposes in the built architecture. The very fundamental use of machine is the structural purpose, machines inside architecture, and finally architecture as a machine. First of all, let us begin by understanding the machine.
What is a machine?
The machine is basically described as a piece of equipment that either use electricity or solar panel. Sometimes it does not require any source of energy, and it could be created by using other machines. And it is programmed and invented by mankind throughout centuries to fulfill a certain need and makes a certain activity easier. And as the old saying says, necessity is the mother of invention. An example of machine and its update through time is the artificial lights. In the past, the only light people had is the sunlight, and by time people discovered fire and they had another light. After that, Thomas Edison invented electricity, and the rest is history. The latest invention of lamp is the sensor lamp. At the end, machine is anything created to save time and effort and provide human comfort. The machine concept is very general and used widely, but today we will discuss the architectural aspect of a machine and its application in architectural projects. And as Le Corbusier said, the house is a machine for living in. Machine as a general term means any human creation that make life easier. But architecture and machine are construction methods to build using equipment in easier and faster process. Moreover, machine and architecture defined as use technique that make buildings easier for users to live in, easy for air to circulate, or easy to be built basically. Let's take an example of machines inside architecture. In this example, the designer wants to motivate the users to use the staircase instead of the escalator. So he designed a piano staircase that makes sound every time you step on it. So people start interact with this staircase more often than escalator. And this is a very simple example of machines inside architecture that interact with the users. First of all, let's start with architecture and machine during construction phase, referring to the used machine during construction. To build and construct faster, architects need machines to speed up this process efficiently. For instance, the excavator machine is a man creation to excavate the site with controlled operation. A coordinated technique can control the big machinery while the worker is sitting, instead of the ancient methods. The same thing applied for the other used machines in construction phase to facilitate it and accelerate it. Now let's move to architecture and machine versus the building itself. This chapter will discuss how machines make the premises occupants' life easier. Starting with escalators and elevators are electrical machines that operate vertical movement throughout the building. And the sensor doors, windows, and lights. They are used in buildings to create an easy smart living practice for the occupants. For instance, they can turn the lights on without switching the switches. The sensors come in many ways to use it. Either they work with sound activating sensors to activate them, or the new trend through home automation systems. All these are techniques used inside the building to create an easy life for the users inside it. Finally, architecture as a machine is the way to design a building that allows the natural resources to come inside it with the needed amount. It is the way to create a building act like a machine. For example, ملقف or wind catcher is a great technique to create airflow inside the building via understanding the air movement and the air pressure. This creates passive design with natural ventilation. The same applies on window location that gives the room natural light and control the air movement. Lastly, the kinetic facade is one of the most recent trends that makes architecture become a machine. This sophisticated yet complicated way with the intention to be moved dynamically rather than being static or fixed. According to a climatic study, the kinetic facade is moving according to the climatic changes and act like a breathing skin for the building. These are some strategies to make architecture a machine. In conclusion, architecture is the design of spaces and elements that fulfill and serve human needs. When the building is interacting with the surrounding environment and act as a living organism, this is the idea behind architecture and machine. The main objective of architecture and machine is to design a smart building that is very sophisticated and developed to understand the human needs and tend to comfort human. It is the latest achieved and developed concept in architecture and machine. That's it. Thank you.